Welcome into the Sonoma Index Tribune press box for a Friday evening edition of the Stompers pregame show. I'm Kieran Costa, joined by Roman Raffelli, getting you set for a little CCL North, CCL South clash between the Sonoma Stompers and the Arroyo Seco Saints. Both squads above 500 this year. Sonoma 9-6, Arroyo Seco 5-4. And the big thing, though, Roman, the Stomps have really got it going of late. 7-3 in their last 10. They find themselves 3 games above 500 coming into a busy weekend. The Saints today, the Legends tomorrow, and first place Walnut Creek on Sunday.
Yeah, they really started to just see the ball a lot more consistently at the plate. The pitching's been solid, both starting and bullpen, and the team just looks more confident through their last 5, 6, 7 games. They've been swinging it well, playing good team ball, and that's what they need to do through the weekend.
Yeah, the Stompers, middle of the lineup, produced in a big way yesterday. Handren an RBI, Akers 3, Shannon 2, and Pulowski 2. That went 2 through 5. The middle of the lineup tries to produce again today, but without Max Handren.
Yeah, and Handren, not in the lineup here. You got to move on as if he is in there. He's been a great bat at the top, but the confidence can't fall back just because he's not there. You've still got the talent, the skill, the quality at bats in this 9-man lineup to get the job done, and that's what they need to do.
Yeah, this one's going to be a little bit tougher than yesterday. Philippines baseball group, well, that was no problem for Zach Pace and company. 8-1 final. That one went Sonoma's way. Today, it's an Arroyo Seco team 5-4, but they're coming off the long bus ride. It didn't affect Sonoma. Do you think it takes a toll on the visitors today?
I think it probably takes more of a toll than it did on the Stompers because you're not coming home to the ballpark. When you're comfortable at and all those things. Just so much to kind of take in of where the bat hops, what's the field like, because this is a pretty unique field, obviously, with a really deep center and just the structure of it. So I would expect it to maybe cause some issues, but overall, good baseball is good baseball, and that travels.
Yeah, I expect a good one tonight with David Howard getting the pill for Sonoma, the 6'4", 225-pound left-hander. You remember last time out, he struck out 5 of the 7 hitters he faced out of the bullpen. His start wasn't as good. So he went start, not so good, great out of the bullpen. He's back in a starter role today. What are you looking for out of Howard early to see if that swing and miss stuff's there?
Yeah, you mentioned the 5 out of 7 strikeouts. He's got 6 on the year. He needs to throw strikes. When he's gotten ahead in the count and ahead in innings, he's been very successful, and when he hasn't done that, he's struggled a bit. 4 walks and 4 hits as well. Just a .215 batting average again, so let the team hit the ball. Throw it in the zone, let the defense work, get ground balls, and get the bats back out there.
Yeah, it's the first meeting between the Stompers and the Saints since 2022, almost exactly 3 years ago to the day. And I know it's early in the season, we're still facing teams we haven't seen before, but Howard specifically with that changeup that really looks like a curveball with that high hook, they're not going to be comfortable with it. They haven't seen it before. You think that plays in Sonoma's favor?
I would love for an 8-inch changeup to play in my favor. Yeah, the Stompers need to take advantage of that. David Howard needs to go out and be confident, vary the cadence. That's something we've talked about a lot. The Stompers had the Blues in Game 1 running all over the place. They cleaned it up in Game 2. They were solid last night, although there weren't a lot of base runners for the Philippines at all. So just continue to be confident with your pitching, pitch ahead in the count, vary the cadence, and throw strikes.
A couple of playoff teams from last year going at it. The Arroyo Seco Saints ended their season in a wild card game loss. The Stompers made it 1 game further than that, lost in the CCL North title. And let's move to Roman's radar, and we'll start with the home squad. No Max Handren in the lineup. Who's your Stomp Watch player today?
For me, it's going to be McCann Libby. He got his first day off of the season yesterday. He's been solid, even playing every single day. So fresh legs, fresh arm, needs to have a fresh performance.
Yeah, let's move over to the roadside, a look behind enemy lines to an Arroyo Seco Saints squad with a lot of D1 colleges on their roster, lots to choose from.
Yeah, it's going to be down in the 8-hole. Joey Milto enters today, batting .360 with 10 RBIs. He's all the way down in the bottom of the order. A bit of a kind of weird stat find there with a great average and the team lead in RBIs. So he's going to look to set the lineup for, set the bases for the top of the lineup, get them rolling in the middle and late innings, and be successful from the bottom.
Yeah, the Stompers look to get it done with David Howard. He'll be matched by Luke Ballantyne out of Biola University. He's someone that puts the ball in the zone, a lot more strikeouts than walks. Roman Stompers need to attack when they get their pitch.
Yeah, and their pitch is going to happen frequently. A lot of fastballs from Ballantyne. Stompers got to be aggressive in the count, but smart aggression, not just swinging at everything, trying to take it 400 feet, hunt the fastball, put it in play, and run hard.
Yeah, well, that wraps up shop here on the Stompers pregame show. Thanks for joining us as we set up the contest. It's the first matchup since 2022 between the Stomps and the Saints. First pitch coming up on the other side of the break on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. The Sonoma Stompers off to their best 15-game start in their entire CCL history. They try and keep it rolling here on a Friday night against the Arroyo Seco Saints. I'm Kieran Costa, joined by Roman Raffelli, getting you set for action here at Arnold Field in Sonoma, California. The Stompers enter 8-6. They've won their last two. They welcome the Arroyo Seco Saints 5-4 on the season. They lost last night. David Howard will be the starter for Sonoma, trying to get their third straight win. He is announced by manager Zach Pacey, 6'4", 225 pounds, a left-handed pitcher out of Newark, California. He turns 25 coming up on July 2nd, a veteran. Pitched at Sonoma State last season for the Seawolves, 11 appearances, 3 starts. He went 34 2/3 innings. a 1-3 record. But the biggest thing with him was just 4 earned runs in his last 11.2 innings, so rounded into form when he needed to. He's 0-1 in 2 games for Sonoma, 4 innings of 5.06 earned run average. But as we mentioned, struck out 5 of the 7 last time out. And here's the lineup he'll go up against, announced by the Saints. Lane Hayworth leads off, followed by the third baseman Enright Trotter and the first baseman Jack Little. Left fielder Levi Medilla hits 4th, and the shortstop Jack Ryan's 5th. Second base is Keon Mosini, the right fielder Gannon Snyder, then the DH Joey Milto. Matt Manrod rounds out the 9 for the Saints. Stomps wearing their home whites, the road blue with the, I think, cream and then light blue down the sleeve for the Saints. Lane Howarth, beg your pardon, I think there's no Y in that name, leads off from the left side, so it's lefty on lefty to open this one up. First pitch is in there for a called strike. That's that changeup, 79 miles an hour, but really hooks in there like a curve. Finds the inside corner, left on left. The first pitch was at 6:11 p.m. He goes inside again. This one misses just off the corner, 80 miles again. Connor Pulowski, his battery mate today. Howard delivers. That one's grounded to Boardman back at shortstop, who fields, sets, throws in time to get him. 6-3 the putout to open up the ball game, and let's set the rest of the defense. Nick Sebastiani's in left field, Landon Akers in center, Kieran Baker out in right. Anthony Shepler and Colton Boardman on the left side of the infield, McCann Libby and Paul Lazul on the right side. And as I mentioned, Connor Pulowski gets the start at catcher. Just back and forth, alternating every day between Sepulveda and Pulowski. And here's another lefty in Enright Trotter. Squares to bunt, takes a called strike outside corner this time. The Arroyo Seco Saints from down in Pasadena, 5-4 record out of the CCL South. The 0-1 misses low. Going to be a small zone tonight from Ron Mattery, the home plate umpire. He's helped by Matt Bolus and Gary Frieders. 1-1 from Howard. Grounded to the right side this time. Lazul dives, kicks off his glove to the second baseman Libby, and no play is made. It's a ground ball that was just put between first and second. Lazul got a glove to it, and it will go as an infield single.
And Enright gets a little bit lucky there. Not great contact at all, but just out of reach from Lazul. A really tough play on the infield. A pretty straight up infield hit.
Yeah, a 56 mile per hour ground ball leads to the first base runner of the contest, and that brings up the first righty, Jack Little out of Baylor. Pitch is hit down the right field line and foul out of play. Kieran Costa joined by Roman Raffelli here on a Friday night. Saturday night we're back here at Arnold, and then Sunday we hit the road. Howard, a lefty out of Sonoma State. Little, a righty out of Baylor. 371 and 436. He's played all of the 9 games to this point, but he finds himself behind 0-2 against Howard, and he decides to step out.
Howard doing a great job pitching ahead in the count through 3 batters. Needs to continue that.
Get ahead, stay ahead. That's how the adage goes, and that's what Howard's looking to do here. The center fielder Akers a half step towards right, and Howard checks on first base. Nothing doing. Trotter back safely. And all right, Trotter has 1 stolen base. He leads off first. Jack Little, who, as I mentioned, has a 371 average and 3 doubles, digs in, left on right. Howard comes home, and Ron Mattery rings him up outside edge. First strikeout today for David Howard, and that brings up Levi Medilla, a third lefty out of the first 4. David Howard might have got a gift on that one.
A little bit outside there, but anything close, you got to battle off with 2 strikes.
First one misses inside, and the count's 1 ball and no strikes. Off first base is Trotter. The hitter's Medilla, beg your pardon. He plays at Shorter University. Hey, to be quite honest, I hadn't heard of that one until today. Shorter University's in Rome, Georgia. And the Shorter University lefty swings and misses, but counts 1-1 to Medilla. He hit 260 in 37 games down there.
Might have had a shorter season.
It's good. I knew you were going to go with one. I just didn't know when you would do it. 1-1 is popped a mile high down the first baseline. Lazul's going to give it a look, but it's going to drop into the bullpen. Private university founded in 1873. Probably been doing it for quite a long time. A longer history, you could say, for that athletics program. Just over 3,500 students down at Shorter. The 1-2 is low outside. Nice pick by Connor Pulowski. Went to the glove side in the other batter's box and just picked it like a first baseman. Gutsy.
A nice play there. Just made it look super casual as well. Connor been great in all facets. Behind the dish, at the plate, and even doing the grounds work.
I think Zach Pace would have liked him to play that one off the chest protector. 2-2, runner goes. Pulowski's going to throw to second, and they got him. Oh, my goodness, he didn't even dive. Enright Trotter's thrown out by about 5 steps. That's Connor Pulowski's second caught stealing in as many starts. Sonoma continues to cut down runners left and right. That means it's 3 up and 3 down. They work around the single. Nothing across for Arroyo Seco with Sonoma coming up in the bottom half. We head to the bottom of inning number 1, and Luke Ballantyne gets the baseball, the 5'10", 180-pound lefty out of Chino, California. The 19-year-old wrapped up his season at Biola University, where he went 6-1 with a 6.02 ERA over 64 in the 3rd innings. He's making his 3rd appearance of the CCL season. He's yet to give up a run. His first pitch to Boardman is in there for a called strike. A battle between 2 5'10" left-handers start the bottom of inning number 1. The pitch is sent towards center field, but Howarth drifts back and in to left center field. He makes the catch. Boardman gives it a ride, but it's run down by Howard in center, who has Medillo to the left of him and Snyder out in right field. And right at third, Ryan at second, Mosini at first, Jack Mosini at second, Little at first. Mainrod is the catcher for Ballantyne. Lefty on righty. That one misses off the corner to Sebastiani. Back up in the 2-hole today. We saw him in the 7th spot, even in the 8th spot yesterday. But Zach Pace has liked what he's seen. He's back up in the 2-hole, and he sends this one foul, and the count's 1-1. So Boardman, Sebastiani, Akers, that's the first inning. Then Libby, Shannon, and Pulowski, the middle third. Lazul, Shepler, and Baker. 7, 8, 9 for Zach Pace. Dave Hoax in the third base coaching box. Jacoby Hires in the first base coaching box. The pitch is grounded back towards the middle. Ryan moves over, dives in, it's past him. So it's a single for Sebastiani. He's now has a knock in back-to-back at-bats. He singled in his last trip yesterday. Zach Pace bumps him to the top of the lineup. There he goes, and he's yelled something towards Sebastiani. A motion to open his arm, maybe take a bigger lead.
I'm not sure what that was, but Sebastiani has been seeing the ball very well. He had a slow start to CCL play and has since come around the corner, as has the team. A great confident stroke there.
That pitch is a fastball that finds the outer corner. No balls and 1 strike to Landon Akers. 3 for 3 with a walk yesterday, looking to build upon that performance. He fouls this one back to the screen off of the catcher, Mainrod. Both teams with 1-out singles. In the top of this inning, Connor Pulaski threw out that runner trying to go to second base. We'll see what happens here. Sebastiani being held on by Little. From the slide step, the pitch is fouled back to the screen. Sebastiani, second on the team in steals with 6. The only 2 guys ahead of him flank him in the order. That's Colton Boardman, who leads off with 7, and this guy at the plate, Landon Akers, who also has 7. So if he swipes one here, he's tied for the league lead. We'll see, or the team lead, beg your pardon. We'll see if they send him on an 0-2. They don't, and Landon Akers is gone a look-in, 89. And he could not get the bat off his shoulder. That brings up McCann Libby.
And a nice challenge pitch there from Ballantyne. Inner third, just a tough pitch to get around on.
So another righty now in Libby. Sebastiani still not running, and McCann takes a called strike. Good pitch, 88, outer third. Brady Shannon waits on deck. Libby leads the squad in runs batted in. He has 11. The 0-1, swing and a miss, late on a fastball, nothing in 2. Ballantyne in the high 80s with the fastball here in inning number 1. Stompers and the Saints, first meeting since June 24th, 2022. Arroyo Seco won that one 7-4 here at Arnold Field. The 0-2 is high, 1-2. And that's the only time the CCL's been around for 3-4 years, or Sonoma's been in the CCL, I beg your pardon, for 3-4 years. So this is just the second meeting between the clubs. Ballantyne delivers, Sebastiani runs. Appeal to first, no swing on Libby, so that's Nick Sebastiani's 7th stolen base, and the top 3 hitters in the Stomper order now all have 7 swiped bags this season. That's what you want. Your leadoff guys get on and can get themselves into scoring position. Libby now a chance to drive him in from second. Hitting room on the right side for the right-handed hitting Libby. The 2-2 outside and high, filler up, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And a good approach here from Libby. He got down early but didn't panic. He's seen a couple, fouled one off, now in a full count.
I'd be shocked if they send Sebastiani to third base, even on the 3-2. Something's got to give here with McCann Libby. The payoff. Sock him out swinging. Fastball challenge pitch, 87. Back-to-back strikeouts to end the inning. The Stompers, no runs, 1 hit, 1 left. We're scoreless through 1 on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network.
Levi Medella.
As Roman said, it's Levi Medella who leads off. After all those jokes we made about Shorter University, we have another at-bat to do it because Enright Trotter was thrown out trying to steal second base.
Well, anyone listening probably wishes he had a shorter at-bat than anyone else.
0-1. Bounced back up the middle. Boardman gloves on the high hop and throws him out at first. That goes 6-3, and it brings up Jax Ryan out of Arizona State. 5 games for Ryan, a .222 average, 2 doubles and 2 RBIs. That's Jax with an X for anybody writing down the scorecard themselves. They face David Howard, who winds and fires, drops that changeup in there for a called strike. That's 68 miles an hour on his changeup. 0-1. Low. 1 and 168 again from Howard. Induced a lot of ground balls, a lot of strikeouts. The issue is when he leaves that up, it's a batting practice 68. That one just dies off the bottom of the plate. That counts 1 and 2. He has gone 68, 68, 70 to start off this at-bat on the gun. Working quickly, his 1-2. Tries it again. This one too low for Ryan, and the count's 2 and 2. Jax, a .377 on-base percentage for the Devils. 2-2. That's served into shallow right. Shannon going over, reaches up and made the catch. That ball had some sort of carry on it. That's Kieran Baker in right field today. Beg your pardon, Brady Shannon is the DH.
And still a heck of a play there. I mean, just kind of tailed on him late, and he was able to jump up and make the catch.
Quickly, 0-1 to 0-2. Howard gets the ball. He is ready to sling it.
And a lot of lefties in this Saints lineup, something that David Howard can take advantage of first time through especially.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Keon Moseni down on 3 pitches and easy breezy through 2 for David Howard. Midway through the second inning, the Stompers and the Saints are scoreless on Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. We head to the bottom of the second inning, where Brady Shannon, the righty, leads off and takes a called strike from Ballantyne. It's 0-1. Shannon, 220 hitter with a 400 on base. He leads the team in strikeouts, but he also leads the team in walks. He's in a 1-1 count here. He'll be followed by Connor Pulowski and Paul Lazul. The 1-1 coming. Swing and a miss. 85, right on the black of the outside corner, and Shannon swung under it. The count's 1-2. The 1-2 home. Shannon fouls it back, stays alive, and the count will hold there. Sonoma, 7-3 in their last 10 games to ride into today with a 9-6 record. 5-4 here at Arnold Field this season. Shannon battling behind in the count 1-2 to Ballantyne, who's fully squared to home plate, now rocks into the motion and delivers inside and high. The count's 2-2. We saw Ballantyne out of the stretch in the first inning. He was almost exclusively out of the slide step. When he's in the wind, it's a high rock leg kick and pitch, and Shannon fouls it back. Brady led the Youngstown State Penguins in most of the power categories last year. Looking to do the same here for Sonoma. He leads in extra base hits already. A double, 2 triples, and a home run. The 2-2 swings and misses. High fastball, 86. That's 3 consecutive strikeouts from Ballantyne, and it brings up Connor Pulowski.
And it's been a good start for Ballantyne. A nice high, what looked like a fastball, but also cut a little bit pitch there. He's pitching ahead and has established himself early in this one.
Yeah, and if you want a guy to not strike out and sort of break up this little run of strikeouts, Pulowski's your guy. Connor swings and misses at the first one. 8 walks and 5 Ks, one of just 4 Stomper hitters with more free passes than strikeouts. The 0-1 outside, 1-1. Scoreless here in the bottom of the second inning. Stompers and the Saints, a fun little one-off series between these two. 1-1 pitch, high 2-1. That's what I'm saying. Connor is a guy that's going to get ahead in the count and battle when he gets there. Ballantyne gets the sign he likes from Main Rod and comes home. Pulowski takes low and inside, 3-1. Stompers looking for their second base runner in as many innings. That was the curveball, and it skipped in there. Hitters count for Pulowski. The third baseman Enright hugs the line, and Pulowski cuts and misses. The count runs full, 3-2. Very close to that left field line is Enright. That one's grounded into the hole. Backhand by Ryan. Throws to first. In time to get him. A very nice play from Jax Ryan in the shortstop hole. Went to the backhand side, got the high hop, and lobbed it all the way across to get Connor 6-3.
Yeah, just inside of the outfield grass, cut, and a nice job. Plants the back foot and throws off of it. A little bit up the line, but a nice stretch from Little. I guess a large stretch from Little on first base.
A nice play on both ends there by Arroyo Seco, and Ryan has another chance. He charges. Struggles to get it out of his glove, but does in time. A couple ground outs to shortstop end the inning. A quick 2 frames in the books. We head to the third, scoreless on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. David Howard has faced the minimum through 2, which means it's 7, 8, 9 due up for the Arroyo Seco Saints in the third. That's Gannon Snyder, Joey Milto, and Matt Mainrud. The pitch is outside, 66 miles an hour on the changeup from David Howard. My goodness. 1-0 home. That one's hit to left field, but not deep. Sebastiani started back and now comes in and can't get there. Nick Sebastiani took 2 steps back and then could not recover. It drops in front of him. That wasn't a very hard hit ball, just under 70 miles an hour off the bat. And a misread out there by Sebastiani. It's a single for Snyder. It's his 6th hit of the campaign. And Howard back out of the stretch. Comes home. High, I think, on that one at 80, says home plate umpire Ron Mattery. Reduced a couple ground balls already today. He'd take another here and have the infield roll it up. Lazul holds the runner at first. Howard decides to come home and gets a check swing, ground ball to third. Gloved by Shepler, throws to first in time. A nice play on the charge by Anthony Shepler.
And that was nearly an infield hit on what would have been probably the shortest swing and shortest hit ball for a hit we've seen at Arnold so far this season. He tried to check it, just poked it down the line, and it somehow stayed fair, but a nice play from Shepler.
It goes theoretically as a swinging bunt because Snyder goes to second base. So he did his job and sets up Matt Maidenrod, who's 1 for 10 on the season and ahead in the count 1-0. Connor Pulaski asked Ron Mattery for that appeal for about 6 seconds before he was even granted, and Matt Bullis said no swing. 1-0. Called strike, top of the zone. That's a nice pitch, but it counts 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on as we play scoreless here in the third. Howard looking to lead that runner at second. Pitches, it's popped up very shallow center. Akers gets a good jump, settles under it to make the catch, and not even a bluff from Snyder at second. Landon gets it in quickly, and that sends us back to the top of the lineup in Lan Howarth.
Now batting, center fielder number 19, Elaine Hayward.
So now there's 2 away. Anything gets Howard out of the inning. He faces the left-handed hitting center fielder out of Wichita State. Comes home left on left, swing and a miss. 66 miles per hour down the center square of the strike zone, and Wayne Howarth was nowhere near it. He was swinging for the moon. The pitch, outside corner, called strike. Hit just a $182 in 99 at-bats for the Shockers. The 0-2 coming from Howard, looking to put away Howard, and he does. 3 strikeouts through 3 shutout innings for David Howard. The Stomps look to get the bats going in the bottom of the third when we return. Anthony Shepler leads off in the bottom of the third of a scoreless game. A couple lefties are dealing out on the mound. Nothing but zeros. Howard and Ballantyne matching each other, and Shepler swings and misses 85. Two different approaches. Howard's putting it 66 on a loop in the zone and have the Arroyo hitters way out in front. High 80s have the Stompers hitters behind. That one is upstairs, and the count's 1-1. So 1-1 to Shepler, left on left. Ballantyne spikes it in the far batter's box. The count's 2-1. Shepler, Baker, and then back to the top in Boardman.
And Shepler struggled last night against the Philippines. 4 strikeouts, looking to bounce back here today.
Yeah, that average dropped to the Mendoza line, and even 200 for Anthony Shepler. He takes outside, and now he's ahead 3-1. The on base still there, 391. That's because he's the team leader in hit by pitches. Just 2 walks to his name. 3-1, hitters count. Shepler swings and misses. High fastball. Payoff pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out. So Shepler gives him a strike, swings at a 3-1 fastball, and Ballantyne takes advantage and challenges him and wins on 3-2. 4th strikeout for Luke. And that brings up Kieran Baker.
And Shepler there, an aggressive approach. We all know that, but swung at a high fastball, 3-1. That's exactly what Ballantyne wants on the bump. He just played right into his hand.
Yeah, Baker known to swing first pitch. He does, and he misses. It's 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Ballantyne dealing with Kieran Baker. Left on right. Baker, check swing. Yes, he did. It's 0-2. That high fastball really have the Stompers befuddled so far. The 0-2 high again. He did not go. It's 1-2. Thanks for joining us here on the Sonoma Stompers YouTube channel, the Stompers Broadcast Network, where you can find all home and road games, video here at home, and audio only on the road. The 1-2, Baker swings and misses high fastball. That's 5 strikeouts through the first 9 hitters, and it brings up Colton Boardman.
Yeah, Boardman needs to stop the skid here for the Stomps. The last guy to reach base is now standing on deck. You cannot let Ballantyne cruise this smoothly through 3, especially at your home ballpark.
The first pitch is low and away. A very nice take there by Colton Boardman. He's ahead 1-0.
Yeah, Boardman took one for a ride in his first AB. Saw it well, just got under it.
Takes high again, 2-0. Colton, another guy that walks more than he strikes out. 2-0 pitch on the way. Low and outside. Now it's 3-0. Boardman way out ahead. The Stompers have just 1 base runner up until this point. The 3-0 in there for a called strike, late call by Ron Mattery, and the count's 3-1.
And we've had a few kind of later calls here. It's interesting to initially see the batter's reaction, but then puts it down whichever way it goes.
Boardman pops this one up and out of play down the third base line, and the count runs full 3-2. 3-2 coming to Boardman. He fouls it back to the screen. Good job from Ballantyne to battle back from 3-0 to 3-2. But Colton returns the favor and protects on a pitch outer third. We'll do it again. 7th pitch of the at-bat. Ballantyne rocks, fires, Boardman sends it to center, not deep. Hayworth coming on, still coming on, and he settles under it to make the catch. The Stompers go 1-2-3. That's the second time Hayworth's gotten Boardman today. Nothing but zeros through 3. We'll see if the runs come when Roman Raffelli takes over on play-by-play when we return for the 4th on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network.
Trotter Enright leads it off for the visiting Saints. David Howard, a very solid first 3 innings, a pair of hits. No one scored. First one hit right back at him. He'll field it on a hop, toss it over to Lazul at first. 1 up, 1 down. Brings up the Baylor Bear, Jack Little. He struck out looking on a nicely placed off-speed pitch off the outside corner in the first inning. He comes into today hitting .371 with 7 RBIs. First pitch low, ball 1. Second one misses outside. Now 2-0 for Howard. Not something we've seen much from him today.
Yeah, second time, third time through is going to be a big one. We saw him struggle second trip in one of his first starts, and maybe that was, again, one of his out-of-league outings.
Pitching head always crucial.
How far is Waco from Abilene?
Waco from Abilene, about 4.5, 5 hours, depending on the traffic. A drive I've made once or twice. 2-2 now to Little, who had a pretty solid season with the Baylor Bears. Hits this one softly into right center field. Coming on to make the catch. Not made there. Kieran Baker, Landon Akers lands in between them. It's a 1-out single.
Yeah, that's now a 1-out single in 3 out of 4 innings for Arroyo Seco. And you have to just keep pounding the zone here. If you're Howard, you've induced 4 ground balls. Go get another. Trust your defense. But this is a guy that's really played a lot of games, though, in Medill.
This one fouled off the handle of the bat down the first base line. That single from Jack Little. He had 20 in his Baylor Bear season. A pretty solid season for him there, but Medella here, 4 RBIs on the year. Grounded out to Colton Boardman in the second.
Go get that same ground ball here.
Middle infield that has turned several double plays. Boardman and Libby both got the day off yesterday. The 0-1 fouled back now, 0-2 from Howard.
Yeah, Medill hit 260, but he played 37 games, and I feel like being an everyday guy has to count for something, especially when you get into the grind of the summer and you're forced to play 6 days a week.
Howard ahead 0-2, checks back to first. The Stompers, going into yesterday's game, had turned 6 double plays in their last 2 games. A couple of those a little bit out of the ordinary. The 0-2 cut on and missed well ahead of the changeup. That one at 67, the 4th strikeout for Howard.
It's 67 that ends in the zone.
It's like it's just a lob in there, but it's really a solid changeup, a good grip, and just gets a lot of good movement. Brings up Jax Ryan, a fly out to right. Tonight's beer batter at Arnold watches ball 1. It's right on left. Howard outside corner, strike number 1. He rode the edge there. Ryan from the right just watched it across the plate. The 1-1 fouled back, 1 and 2. The Saints 3 1-out singles, but every batter after the single has been retired. A great job of limiting the damage from David Howard. Now 1 and 2. Hit hard through the 3-4 right side of the infield. That's a 2-out single and 2 on for the first time tonight. Little moves to second. Ryan now on first. It brings up Keon Maseni, who struck out to end the second inning, his first at bat. First pitch from Howard, fouled off the leg of Mosini. Went changeup, first pitch. Howard set at the belt. Takes a look back at Little on second and delivers off the foot of Mosini, and was 2 outs, 1 on, and now 2 outs in a bases loaded situation.
Yeah, now you have to deal with Gannon Snyder. One of now, I guess, 4 different players with the hit. But it makes Pulowski's job a lot harder, especially on that high breaker. And that forces Mike Nunez to the mound.
And this bases loaded moment brought to you by Friedman's Home Improvement. Friedman's is loaded with all your home improvement needs. Friedman's, if they don't have it, you don't need it. And as someone not from the area, heard that slogan the first time and thought it was a pretty good one.
Slogan.
Catchy, works well as a baseball ad read. I mean, if everyone just did their marketing like that, I think we'd have a much more marketable world. Catchy in baseball, what more is there to be desired?
Exactly.
The Nunez
conversation is between Libby, Ryan, and what is that? Boardman out at second base. There's a Bellarmine guy in the lineup, Joey Milto. I wonder if he gets to second base. He can talk things over with, or I guess, gets to the plate. We'll see if he talks to Connor.
Some familiar faces for some of these players now. Gannon Snyder takes strike one. And even, Little and Libby, both Texas guys. Katy and Frisco are not particularly close to each other, but likely some sort of connection. That one misses inside, evens the count 1-1. That one swung on and missed well ahead of the change, 1-2.
Yeah, hard to wait back on 64.
You think Dave Hoke's pregame BP is 64?
It's probably harder, right?
1-2 from Howard. Swung on and missed. That one's 67, but he drops it in there. Might have to ask Dave Hoke what he's seen from Howard. Maybe compare the two's velos. A great work out of the jam from David Howard. Scoreless through 3. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. Bottom of the 4th, Roman Raffelli, Kieran Costa here on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. Luke Ballentine's night's over. He gives way to John Iacono out of Biola. This one hit hard, took a funky hop on Jax Ryan. It will be the second single of the ball game for Nick Sebastiani. He has the only 2 Stomper hits. Correction and error there.
Yeah, that's an Arnold Field error for the shortstop. You don't know if the ball's going to kick up like that. They showed up 55 minutes before first pitch. Definitely no time to take infield or anything. He tried to come around, glove it on the short hop and throw, and, well, could not make the play. And Sebastiani's the only Stomper to reach. He's done it twice.
So he's aboard to lead off the inning. And Iacono from Biola, the 165 right-handed sophomore. This one hit hard at the third baseman and right. He goes to second, on to first. Not in time for the speedy Akers. It's in fielder's choice. Puts out Nick Sebastiani.
Yeah, this is a third appearance for Iacono. The righty stands 5'10", 165. Out of Los Angeles, California. He's gone 2 2/3 innings. He's given up 1 earned run, but the Stompers are just happy to see anybody that's not by the name of Luke Ballantyne at this point.
And we'll close the line on Ballantyne in just a moment. First pitch strike to Libby. He went 3 innings, just 1 hit, no runs, no free passes, which in a limited stint with the Stompers, I can tell you that's how you beat them. You don't walk them, don't hit them. He struck out 5. 0-1 chopped to shortstop. Ryan to second to first. Double play. 6-4-3. Ryan, Mosini, Little. The Stomps go down. 1-2-3 will head to the top of the 5th here in Sonoma. David Howard returns to the mound, his 5th inning of work. He's given up 4 hits in as many innings, but no runs have come across. First pitch hit high and deep to left. Nick Sebastiani going back, and that one foul, just left of the pole. And quite the ride from Joey Milto.
There was a moment there. That ball had some carry down the line, but thankfully landed on the Stompers side of the line.
So it's a long and loud strike 1. Milto grounded out to Anthony Shepler on a little check swing in the 3rd. That one misses high, now 1-1. Milto, our Romans radar player to watch for the Saints. Swing and a miss, 1 and 2. Entered today, 360 batting average, 10 RBIs. Howard winds, delivers the 1-2, misses low and in.
But if you're not wearing a jersey and you want to buy a ticket in the raffle, go to the Snack Shack. They're only $1. Jersey night.
So it's 2-2 to Milto. Chopped foul towards first base. The 2-2 again, low, 3-2. That's the 54th pitch from Howard.
Looks like there's a righty up and throwing on that mound now.
This one hit hard but fouled on the first base line. That would have been extra bases for Milto, now putting up a solid fight and working line to line. The first pitch you saw over the wall foul in left, and now a couple down the right field line. Howard's got him off balance. 3-2. Foul back again.
Reach back for 82.
I don't know definitively, but I believe Howard has the furthest gap from slowest pitch to fastest pitch in the arsenal on the Stompers pitching roster, but 3-2 here, swung on and missed. It's the 6th for Howard, and Milto made him work for that one. Brings up Matthew Menard. 3 walks, 4 stolen bases. Coming into today's ballgame, he flew out to center field in the 3rd. Watches ball 1 in the dirt.
Yeah, tough go for their catcher lately. 0 for 11 this season at Oral Roberts. He's now 1 for 11 in CCL action.
Watches strike 2 outside corner. The count 1-1. That one misses inside. Howard gets the ball back. The sign, the wind, and the delivery low behind 2-1. Excuse me, 3-1. Hit high and fouled on the right field line. Baker gives it a look, but not much pursuit. The count now full. Howard looking to get through the lineup for the 2nd time. No damage. 3-2. Outside corner. Strike 3 called.
Yeah, 3 straight strikeouts for Howard. That's 7 on the day. That's how you put down the bottom 3rd of the order. And now things get dicier going 3rd time. Look at Lane Hayworth. You got him once via the K.
Hayworth 0 for 2, the strikeout like Kieran mentioned, and a ground out to start this ball game. He takes a ball outside for his 3rd at bat. That one also outside and low, 2-0. Hayworth, the first of 4 lefties in the lineup. Excuse me, 5 lefties in the lineup for the Saints. Ahead 2-0, hit hard towards McCann Libby. He fields it on a knee, throws on a knee, and it's not squeezed by Lazul.
That's why you have an official score. It's an error. But who does it go to? Charge to McCann.
So it's E4 with 2 outs. Hayworth reaches. Now Trotter Enright to the plate. He's got a single. He was caught stealing in the 1st. Entered today with 8 RBIs. Howard takes a long look at him. He takes off first pitch. They pitch out, and the throw up the line from Pulowski. A rare, just not on target throw, not an errant throw, but Boardman was already kind of situated at the bag, had to go back towards 3rd base and then come over to make the tag. Not in time. It's a stolen base for Hayworth.
His 6th.
Now runner in scoring position for Enright. Pitch misses 2-0. Howard been behind multiple times in the inning, but no damage yet.
I think a good throw from Connor there might have got him. It's Cole Pacheco up and loosening in the bullpen for Sonoma.
Howard takes a look back and delivers outside corner for strike number 1. Howard works at a fairly slow pace. The 2-1 misses low and out. Now 3-1, 2 outs in the inning.
This is interesting. You have Pacheco ready. You have a lefty coming up. A righty ready in the bullpen. That's assuming that he can't get Hayworth from behind 3-1, but that's a conversation for, I guess, the end of this hitter.
Howard set at the belt. Looks back and delivers, misses outside. Now we can have that conversation. The first walk for Howard tonight.
Oh, here comes Zach. Oh, he started. And here he comes.
Pace likely going to the bullpen. David Howard solid through 4 2/3. Pace. A nice steady trot out to the mound.
Is it conversation or is he telling him what's about to happen? Is David Howard about to talk his way back into this baseball game?
We're seeing a persistent nod, and it looks like he's bought himself another batter.
Pitchers used to just send their managers back. You're fine. Stay there.
So Zach Pace getting his steps in. We saw Cole Pacheco work his way out of the bullpen, but he'll have to return. David Howard, runners on first and second. He's got 2 outs, needs a ground ball. He's rolled several tonight, but he faces Jack Little, the righty. A walk and a strikeout tonight.
I think that's Andrew Milam down at third was asking. I mean, the reliever came out of a bullpen, but that's not binding. Maybe he just was jogging into the dugout, hanging out with the guys.
Yeah, they're not connected, so technically he just has to go from one to the other, and if he takes it...
He just took a wide turn.
Right, a wide turn, a few extra steps.
He wants.
Howard set, delivers a little, misses inside and low.
I mean, those count. What are you trying to get to? Your 10,000 steps?
Yeah.
That's what the data's telling you these days? Why not buy yourself a couple more?
Walk in a circle, do a little loop-de-loop for all I care. 1-0. Howard to Little. In for a strike.
This is one where, I mean, I'm going to ask Zach Pace after this game, no matter what happens this at-bat, but he's had some issues the last week, giving guys one too many inning, one too many hitter. It's paid off half the time, but half the time it's come back to bite him.
1-1, and Howard steps off. You always love to get at least 5 out of your starter. With the way we've seen the Stompers go, 4 has been a great start. 5 on a couple occasions. Even Devin Laginto went 6. The 1-1 Howard hit hard right at McCann Libby. He has to take a couple steps back to field it, but throws in time to get Lazul. Howard's salesman of himself gets him an extra batter, and he gets the job done. No runs through 5 for David Howard. We'll head to the bottom half of the inning. The Stompers looking for their first run here on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. Bottom of the 5th, a scoreless ball game here at Arnold. The sun slowly setting, leaving about half the field in daylight and half the field in the shade. It's a very pleasant 67. And first pitch to Brady Shannon misses low. Shannon struck out in his only at-bat so far in this one.
Yeah, Stompers just 1 over the minimum.
That one misses out. Now 2-0. Shannon in the DH slot tonight for the Stompers. Had some lineup adjustments with Max Handren out of the lineup. That one outside corner for a strike, and Max might be out for the foreseeable future. The 2-1 low edge called for a strike. A nice frame there from Maynard. First 2 balls, second 2 strikes. The pitch chopped foul down the third base line.
Here's what happened. It sort of reminds you of that game against San Francisco. I mean, the offense just goes quiet, and then when it goes quiet, it's hard to spark it up again.
It's the second inning of work for John Iacono in relief of Luke Ballantyne. The 2-2 inner edge, but a great take from Brady Shannon. Now full count.
I'm interested to see how Cole Pacheco is going to be to start the 6th. I mean, even at this level, you get amped up to come into the baseball game. You jog out there and have to jog back.
The 3-2 breaks the bat of Shannon. It's a foul ball down the third base line, and he's going to go ahead and finish the job. Breaks it over the knee, walking off. So Shannon grabs the new lumber. Looks like a smaller piece. Shannon takes a look at the knob. I think he agrees. But he'll step back in. Full count. The pitch. Fouled back. I believe Shannon broke a bat down in slow.
Ah.
Now 2 of the week, not the ideal for Shannon. 3-2. Outside corner. Strike 3 called. Shannon doesn't like it, and he's been ejected from this ball game.
Yeah, and Zach's got to be the first guy out here. Shannon wasn't too happy, and as he should be. That ball's a ball out and a ball down, but at this level, to eject a player, I mean, to eject a manager, I understand to an extent, but to hook a guy, I'm not too happy.
And there were some loud choice words from Shannon, likely. You know, a lot of times with umpires, it's not necessarily the volume or, you know, the vulgarness, but more like a nerve that each umpire kind of has. You say the wrong thing, whether it's questioning their authority or that type of thing, gets the hook. Shannon gets it there. First pitch, swing and a miss from Connor Pulowski, so the Stompers have to find a new DH in tonight's ball game.
Got options at least.
And the 0-1 outside corner, 0-2.
Sepulveda, you probably don't want to burn a catcher. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Trent Keys take those ABs. You give that to a lefty. Ben Sebastiani put together a couple nice at-bats in yesterday's game. He could be earning himself some run.
1-2 to Pulowski, swing and a miss. It kicks away from the catcher. He's going to have to hustle to make a throw, and Pulowski, a heads-up play there. Tried to get in the throwing lane as a catcher himself. Took a bit of a turn before crossing the bag, but he's thrown out. It's a swinging strikeout and a 2-3 put-out. Brings up Paul Lazul. And while we're on the topic of filling in that DH, I might like to see Charlie Malton get some at-bats. He's put together some solid ones so far this season, and he'll be leaving about 2/3 of the way through, so might as well get your use in while he's here. At one outside corner, strike 1-2 Lazul.
Whatever Shannon's argument, it did not change Ron Mattery's mind. He's still giving it a ball off the corner.
Fouled back 0-2, and Iacono came into this ball game from the pen. He's retired the first 5. He turned a double play, a pair of strikeouts, and he's just been nothing but in the zone. Wines delivers the 0-2, swing and a miss from Lazul. Iacono strikes out the side of Stompers. Brady Shannon's ejected and will head to the top of the 6th for, I believe, the first inning of Cole Pacheco, but David Howard might have made a more convincing argument in the dugout. We'll have to see when we come back here on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. Cole Pacheco is the new arm on the bump. David Howard was solid, but this move had a good time.
Yeah, Pacheco, tall righty, 6'4", 237 pounds, 22-year-old out of Turlock, California. It was a Modesto Junior College guy, wound up at Indiana State University, Southern Indiana. He's been around the block. In 2025 at Indiana State, he pitched 2 games and gave up 1 earned run in 1.1 innings.
First pitch low and in.
He pitched 2 1/3 shutout innings for the Stompers last summer. So, technically a second-year Stomper, but that's not really in practice.
1-0 misses low, and you mentioned it a little bit earlier. When you think you're coming into the game and then you get pulled back into the pen or the dugout, whatever it is, it definitely messes with the mental state of it a little bit. You have to just kind of, you're ready to go out there, get an out, whatever, and then you have to delay that. Always a question on how he's going to respond to that. Now behind 3-0.
I mean, it also plays off of you've pitched 3 2/3 innings since 2024.
Pacheco behind 3-0 to Medella. Pitch outside corner for a strike.
Well, here's one where you're changing up the speed for these Saints hitters. They're used to seeing 80 at the hardest only 2 times from the starter Howard, and now he's going nothing but 85 here.
It's ball 4 to Medella. He's aboard for the first time today. And David Howard gave the Stompers a very good start. No run support for him, but he went 5, gave up 4 hits, no runs, just 2 free passes, a walk and a hit by pitch, and then 7 strikeouts. That boosted season total to 13 and just 10 and a third. First pitch in for a strike to Jax Ryan, who is 1 for 2 on the day.
Yeah, Pacheco joined the team down and slow, didn't get into any games there, was slated to pitch the second game, but Waginto pitches into the 7th, so it's been a lot of up and down in the bullpen for Cole, but now ready to go.
No steal. Pulowski picks to first, and they nearly picked off Medella, dancing off the bag, trying to get to Pacheco. Laser focus, but a laser from Pulowski nearly picked him off.
Yeah, no vindication on that safe call either.
Very hesitant there. So it's 0-2 to Ryan. A pick move back to the bag. Pacheco resets. Looks into Pulowski, gets the sign, takes a look back. Medella extends the lead late, dances off the bag. They're going to pick again. And a similar kind of stealing cadence to what we saw from Donovan Jordan down in slow. And
that didn't turn out too hot for him, I can tell you that.
I don't know how much communication is in the CCL between games like that, but they didn't learn from his mistake. This one chopped to Shepler, a chance for 2. Second one on to first note, throw from Libby. And he's probably asking for runner's interference, but you got to throw the ball to get that. The slide not made from Medella.
Well, that's the right play. That's what we see in the MLB a lot these days, is you just run through that base, and if you somehow get a safe call, you can deal with that after. Run through the base. What do you have to lose?
So Ryan reaches on the fielder's choice. It's 1 out, runner on first for Keon Moseni. A hit by pitch and a strikeout, and this ball into right field on the pick-off attempt. He's going to go first to third. Throw from Baker. In time, but the foot under the tag.
Yeah, it's runner. Oh, he's called at third due to runner's interference on Paul Lazul. He should be put at second base in this situation.
Zach Pace back out.
Pulowski just told Ron Mattery it's 1 base, right? He has to be put back at second base or he's out because you didn't call interference on, or obstruction, beg your pardon, obstruction on Paul Lazul at first base. And Shannon's already been ejected from this game, but this is the wrong call if he's not put at second base.
Yeah, so it's obstruction, put on second base, or it's out at third. That's the only two thoughts or ways of thinking about this. The ball goes into right field. Lazul and Ryan get tangled up. It should be obstruction. He sits on second base. It's a dead ball from that point. They let him run to third base. He's tagged out in time, but then waved off by the umpire there. That's Gary Frieders, arguing that because the obstruction, he can take 2 bags, but he can't. They're going to place him on third, and that's just an incorrect call.
I didn't know that obstruction was a judgment call. I don't think it is.
So I don't really know what to tell you there. We've seen a few umpire meetings go interesting directions.
I can go to the scorebook. Well, this says the base runner would have reached. Maybe it is a judgment call. Maybe they did have that one right.
A swing and miss from Moseni. Ryan on third with 1 out in the inning.
Either way, that one's sort of on your own doing. You pick up 5 times, one of them's bound to get by.
Oh, 1 to Moseni in the dirt. A good block from Pulowski. Now a run. The first run of this ball game, just 90 feet or a passed ball away. Pacheco in his first inning of work. Infield in on the grass. That pitch outside corner for a ball.
That is the identical pitch that got Brady Shannon ejected from this ball game. Identical.
So it's 2-1 to Moseni. The pitch cut on and missed. A nasty off speed there. And they pick back to third. It goes into left field and scores a run.
You're 1 pitch away from getting the second out of the inning. That's tough.
So the run scores, it's 1-0 in favor of the Saints. The 2-2 bounces off Pulowski. That likely would have scored him anyways. So that run scored by Ryan, courtesy of a fielder's choice, a ball on a pickoff thrown into right field, and then a ball on a pickoff thrown into left. The 2-2 hit right back up the middle. It's a 1-out single for Keon Moseni.
This 6th inning is getting off the rails in a hurry for Sonoma.
Now batting, right fielder, number 9.
Brings up Gannon Snyder. He's got 5 hits on the season, 6 hits, excuse me, tacked on 1 in the third. He's also stolen 5 bases. Thanks for joining us here in Sonoma. Roman Raffelli, Kieran Costa here in the top of the 6th. First pitch, outside corner, strike 1. The Stompers just 1 hit through 5. The visiting Saints with 5 themselves. However, the Stompers have 3 errors on the board. Moseni dances off first. Pacheco ignores it and hits the batter Snyder, who tried to get out of the way and ended up on his back.
72 hook. He had time to get out of the way and sort of got caught up in his own feet.
Number 2, Joey Milto.
It's the first hit by pitch from Pacheco, the second on the evening. Now runners on first and second, 1 out.
Yeah, you got to limit the damage here to just 1.
Moseni stands on second, Snyder on first, Joey Milto at the dish. It's right on left. Pacheco delivers, outside corner, strike number 1.
Need to turn a double play here.
The infield more than capable and would like to right the wrongs defensively this inning. The 0-1, a spin move back to second. No throw made.
Yeah, inside move by the righty. Didn't even make the toss. Boardman didn't even daylight.
Boardman creeps in on Moseni. Pacheco comes set. Takes a look back and delivers to the plate as pitch high and out.
Yeah, Pulowski's so good with his back picks, but that one got away from him. Forced in the run.
It's 1-0 in favor of Arroyo Seco. The pitch, outside corner, strike number 2. it's 1 and 2, runners on first and second. One's scored in the inning so far. That was Jax Ryan. The 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3, the second out, and that's a big one. The first strikeout for Pacheco brings up the 9-hole hitter. Just 1 for 12 on the year, Matthew Maynard. First pitch he sees, low, ball 1. Moseni on second, and Snyder on first. 2 outs in the inning. Cole Pacheco working out of the jam, the 1-0 in for a strike.
Yeah, all things considered, if he can get out of it here, you have to call that a win of sorts, but the way the offense has been, one seems like quite a tall task.
The offense not productive so far through 5. They'll get a chance in the bottom. Just hope it's less than a 2-run lead. They'll toss to second, hit sharply at Boardman, and the inning is over. 1 scores on 1 hit, a hit by pitch, and a walk. We'll head to the bottom half. The Stompers looking to get it back here on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. It's the bottom of the 6th. The Stompers looking to get the run back. It was an ugly top of the 6th. A walk, fielder's choice, single, but a couple of errors score a run for the Saints. Anthony Scheffler, Kieran Baker, and Colton Boardman to face the new pitcher, Christian Robb.
Yeah, Robb from Keller, Texas. Another one of these older guys, 2002 kid, as he's set to turn 23 later this year. He's 6'1", 170 pounds. He's making his third appearance. One inning was a 1-2-3 inning. The other inning, he gave up 6 earned runs. Jekyll and Hyde through 2 appearances.
Misses first pitch to Shepler. Now the second pitch to Shepler, also outside. Now plays his college ball at the University of Texas at Arlington. And went to Keller High School, same high school as Arizona Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray. 2-0 low to Shepler, 3-0.
Yeah. Too bad he won't have a chance to face the Stompers quarterback baseball hybrid and Brady Shannon.
It's good there. If you're just joining us, Shannon ejected last inning after a looking strikeout. 3-0 to Shepler, in for a strike.
90 on the gun from Rob, so the velo's there. The question is, can it get hit?
The 3-1 hit hard down the right field line, foul. Shepler gives up the 3-0 lead, now 3-2. Rob did not appear for the UTA Mavericks this spring. It's his third school, started at Southwest Tennessee. This one fouled back from Shepler again. Played 2 seasons there, then went to Charleston Southern, a season there, but now with the Mavericks. Rob and Shepler knotted in a fight for the first out of the inning. 3-2 popped up on the infield. It's and right. A weird route, but he makes the grab.
Yeah, that's Shepler's second time he's gotten ahead 3-1. Hasn't been able to do anything with it either time. And the bottom of the order now, 5, 6, 7, or 6, 7, 8. 6 through 9 is what I'm trying to say there. 0-4-7 with 5 strikeouts. You got Brady Shannon to that. He struck out twice.
Kieran Baker looks to right the lower half woes. He swings and misses, strike 1.
Kieran loves swinging first pitch.
Behind 0-1. Rob comes set, working just from the stretch. That one chopped foul, now 0-2. That one into the Saints dugout.
Yeah, Baker, 302 hitter, 370 on base this year at the College of San Mateo, but he's struggled so far for the Stomps.
The 0-2 fouled back. A defensive swing from Kieran Baker.
Yeah, very late, but saw that one could have been a called strike and decided to have a go and keep battling.
Baker behind 0-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. It's the first strikeout for Rob, and it turns the lineup over with 2 outs for the second time tonight. It also happened in the third. Brings up Colton Boardman.
Nick Sebastiani singled with 1 out in the first inning. The Stompers have been turned down consecutively since then.
Boardman shows bunt, doesn't offer. Misses outside and low.
Yeah, Boardman, the hitter, and Sebastiani on deck are the only 2 Stompers who haven't struck out yet today.
A 1-0 to Boardman. Bunt put down, fouled in the third base line.
Yeah, that started the rally against the Blues the other day. It was just top of the 4th. I think he just put one down. An errant throw got him to third base on that play. And they don't think he's going to do it again. Enright's playing one step behind the bag. If he gets it down the opposite way for a lefty, he's aboard.
He doesn't do it again. Instead, rolls this one over to second base. Moseni gloves and throws over to first base. The Stompers go down in order for the 5th consecutive time. The 4-3 ends the 6th, and it ends my time on play-by-play, but Kieran Costa takes you through the final 3 here on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network.
A new arm out of the bullpen for Zach Pace, looking to keep this just a 1-run deficit. It's Patrick Richardson. The 23-year-old stands 6'4" and weighs in at 195 pounds. A righty out of Newark, California, makes his 3rd appearance. He's given up multiple runs in both of them. 6 earned over 4 frames, 5 walks to just 1 strikeout, but the worrisome number is 10 hits in 4 innings for Richardson, who's working through his time at Arizona Christian University. The task a lot harder today. 1-run ball game as we play on into the 7th. Cole Pacheco in his return to the mound had a 1 in just about every category you could ask for. 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 run, it was earned, 1 walk, 1 hit by pitch, and 1 strikeout. He's on the hook for the loss if the Stompers can't get the bats going quickly. It's the top of the order due up in Hayworth, Enright, and Little.
Now batting, center fielder number 19, Lane Hayworth.
Hayworth grounded out, struck out, and reached on an error so far. He also swiped a bag. The first one from Richardson misses low outside, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Moving right along here in Sonoma, we play in the 7th of what's now just a 1-0 ball game. The pitch, low, skips in there, and the count's 2-0. And the way the Stompers' offense have looked, as I mentioned, just 1 hit, and that's the only base runner that hasn't been erased. Two balls and no strikes. The righty Richardson delivers, and it's swung on and missed. Richardson, a tall righty. He's working out on the mound. That's bathed in complete sunlight. The shadows creeping across the ball field right now. They're just about at second base as you go left to right. Stompers looking for their 3rd win in a row. And just the 2nd CCL regular season contest between these two clubs since the Stomps joined the league back in 2022. The 2-1 outside, 3-1. The Stompers off to their best 15-game start to a season. As I mentioned, in their 3 years of CCL play, they've started 7-8 through 15 the last 2 years. They're 9-6 right now, playing in their 16th league contest of the year. 3-1. Oh, misses low outside. Richardson stares in, maybe asking, I've seen that called a strike all night. I saw my DH ejected for that same pitch. Why didn't I get it? Either way, there's a runner on first base to lead off inning number 7.
Now batting, third base, number 17, Trotter Enright.
Enright is the third baseman. He's singled, grounded out, and walked. Righty on lefty. Hayworth, the runner at first. He swiped second as the last time he was aboard. Hitting room on the pull side. That's the right side. Libby one step towards second. The pitch. Inside corner called strike 1. 85 painted the black of the inside corner at the knees of the left-handed hitter. Hayworth not a big lead, getting held by Lazul. Pitch misses low inside. The count's 2 balls and 1 strike. Stompers cannot give up another run.
And the offense not putting anything together. We saw him jump for 8 last night. You hope that carries over, but it hasn't so far.
Richardson checks on first. Almost another errant pickoff throw. That's what started the whole rally for Arroyo Seco. That was back in the 6th inning. Jax Ryan came around to score. The pitch. He chases and fouls it back to the screen. The count's 1 ball and 2 strikes. One and 2. Right on left. It's Richardson against Enright. Patrick sets and deals. Inside again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Trotter Enright out of Cal State Long Beach. Hit 219 down there last summer. 1-2. Low 2-2. Beg your pardon, the count's run full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. You have to get this hitter. You can't put 2 on and nobody out. Short lead from Hayworth. It's a good pitch to run on. Richardson not looking over. There he goes. Swing and a miss. Pulowski's throw down on a hop. The tag. He got him. It's a strike him out, throw him out, double play. Richardson, Pulowski, Boardman. And just like that, there's 2 down in the inning.
And a great play there. That's exactly how you draw it up. High fastball induces the swing, and then a great throw on a hop from Pulowski. That's one way to turn around an inning.
Connor Pulowski. It's his 2nd runner caught today. Word of advice for Menlo Park tomorrow: if Connor's behind the dish, don't run. And if Esteban Sepulveda's behind the dish, don't run either. The Stompers have been magnificent keeping runners off the base paths, or erasing them when they get there, I should say. The 1-2. I beg your pardon, the 1-0 is in there. 1-0. Both these teams played in the playoffs last year. Neither of them made it to the CCL Championship Series. That was the Conejo Oaks sweeping the set over the Dads. That one's low and away. We don't see the Conejo Oaks this year. We do see the Crawdads, and we see them a whole bunch of times. A backlogged slate. That starts Sunday at Monte Vista High School at 4 o'clock. You can catch an audio-only feed of that ball game right here on the YouTube channel. 2-1 offer coming from Richardson. He seems like he's been working from behind all inning long. Swing and a miss, 2-2. 84, top of the zone.
And Richardson fallen behind a couple times, but done a good job battling back, getting the ball in the zone, forcing them to make some contact, or at least how we've seen it here. A big swing and miss, and then a nice throw from his backstop.
2-2. Outside and low, 3-2. No action in the Stomper bullpen. Richardson would love to get out of this inning here and not push it to the cleanup man, Levi Medilla. He's ready to fire a payoff home to Jack Little. Right on right, and he hit him. 3-2 fastball, well inside. It clips Little, who's on base for the second time, and brings up Levi Medilla out of Shorter University, which we learned in the first inning is down in Rome, Georgia, and has an acceptance rate north of 95. Levi's bounced out, struck out, and walked. The pitch. He lines this one past Anthony Shepler down the left field line. Sebastiani picks it up. His throw to third is offline. Richardson, the pitcher, backs it up. And an on-target throw from Sebastiani, I think, had him. Another question is Shepler should have made the play off the bat. It's a single for Medilla. First to third goes Jack Little, and Zach Pace comes to the mound. Is this a situation where he just takes the ball or just trying to settle him down? He settled down David Howard and it worked. He's in the same situation here.
Well, and I almost think this is more of a chat to the infield saying, hey, like, we just threw it around the park. Fortunately, we didn't give up an extra base, let alone a run, but we need to clean it up. We're one out away, get a ground ball, play catch, and just get out of the inning.
So walk, and then a strike him out, throw him out, set us up. Base is empty, 2 outs. Then a battle and a nice walk by Jack Little. Hit by, or hit 3-2 hit by pitch. I mean, those you get messed up all the time. It's the same thing. Maybe hurts a little, maybe not for Jack Little. It's the same thing for me up in this booth. I wasn't hitting the back at 95 miles an hour by a baseball. Either way, it's first and third with 2 outs. We'll see if they send Medilla. They don't, and that one misses inside 1-0. 1 run, 6 hits. 1 error for the Saints. No runs, just 1 hit for the Stompers. The error category is the highest number. It's 3. The pitch, swing and a miss. 81 took a little bit off, and Jax Ryan was out in front. One. Richardson works against the righty Ryan. Comes home, swing and a miss. Went a little harder that time. Fastball top of the zone, 84. Richardson getting urged on by the Friday night fans here at Arnold Field, trying to hold this at just a 1-0 deficit for the Stomps. Little's off third. Medilla's off first. Richardson 1-2. Just misses below the zone. Close pitch. And Ron Mattery has not made friends with any Stompers fans tonight. He's probably made an enemy for life in Brady Shannon. 2-2. Calls him out on that one. Richardson paints the black of the outside corner and works around a whole lot of traffic in the 7th. time to stretch in Sonoma. The Stompers fans want some offense. We'll see if the bats bring it when we return on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. Nick Sebastiani leads off the 7th inning, and he bounces it foul. John.
Now batting, left fielder, number 6, Nick Sebastiani.
Or it's Christian Robb on the mound, beg your pardon. And that one misses 1-1. The Stompers have 2 base runners, and it's been Nick Sebastiani both times, a single, and he also reached on an error. The Stompers, still to this point, are just 1 batter over the minimum. Fastball called strike, outer corner. Right there's Sebastiani singled and stole second in the 1st inning, and since then, just 1 base runner was erased on a double play. Sebastiani pops this one up. Foul ground first base side. The Saints come together, and it's the first baseman, Little, who retires Sebastiani.
Now batting, center fielder, number 33, Landon Akers.
It's 18 consecutive Stompers have gone.
The Saints pitching has been very good tonight. It's just a one-off game, the only time they'll play this season, but you want to come in, win it for your league record.
Velo's up, though, from these pitchers to anything Sonoma's seen yet this season. Akers, seen heat like this at Bellarmine. That one's 88 and misses in towards his hands. You want this one if you're Sonoma. Get your 3rd straight win, double-digit league victories. Akers pops this one up. Whittle's the only man with the chance, and he'll have one backpedaling and making the catch. So back-to-back foul pop-ups on, I think, just about 6 pitches to start this 7th inning. And that brings up McCann Libby. Ben Sebastiani's come out. He's going to hit in the spot where Shannon was. The designated hitter was ejected back in the 5th inning, arguing balls and strikes with Ron Mattery. Libby has to extend the inning first, and he fouls this one straight off the mask of Matt Mainrod, beg your pardon, and it counts 0-1. Stompers and the Legends do it again tomorrow at 6:05. Cresco night here at Arnold Field. Come out for that one, a 6:05 first pitch. if not a 5:50 pregame show back here on the Broadcast Network. The 0-1. Libby swings and misses. And if this Saturday's game is anything like the four they played last weekend, we're in for high drama tomorrow between Menlo Park and Sonoma. It was the Stomps who took 3 of 4. Menlo Park, though, they won't be coming out quietly. The 0-2, Libby takes low. The count's 1-2. And Christian Robb will have to walk back towards the mound. He was 3/4 of the way to that baseline, heading back to the dugout. Mattery had it right. It was well below the knees of Libby. McCann awaits the 1-2. That one's even lower. The count's 2-2. You just have to show these fans, show your coaches, maybe and show yourself you can get a runner on base. Doesn't matter how you get it. 2-2. Fights off a breaking ball that probably caught a little too much of the plate, but Libby was fooled. He sends it towards Ben Sebastiani in the on-deck circle. No bullpen action. Is Richardson going to get the 8th? We'll find out. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Libby takes low inside, and Christian Robb, upset of himself, slams the hand into the glove out on the hill. Libby's gone from 0-2 to 3-2, and this is one of the better at-bats we've seen from the Stompers all day long. The payoff, Robb to Libby, outside ball 4, and after 18 straight put down in order, unless he gets picked off, Libby's going to be the man to break up that streak.
Yeah, and I bet that half walk to the dugout feels a little bit silly now from Christian Robb. He just couldn't find the zone after he thought he had strike 3.
Yeah, but he was clearly upset at himself, also upset at the umpire, and he couldn't walk back in. Now there's action in the bullpen for Sonoma. Libby leads off first, not running. Sebastiani swings and misses. It's 0-1. Ben Sebastiani, College of Marin last season. He's 2 for 13. 5 walks, 5 strikeouts. Get on board any way you can. He takes outside 1-1. The second baseman, Moseni's, shaded up the middle in case Libby runs. The first baseman, Little, holding him on at first. The entire right side of the infield's open if Sebastiani can go the other way. He can. He swings and misses, 1-2. 88 right down the middle. That's my best stuff against yours, and it's the pitcher that wins the battle on 1-1. One, 2. Sebastiani strikes out swinging. Libby was running. It doesn't matter because Sebastiani comes up empty. So it's the second strikeout for Christian Robb, the 10th by Arroyo Seco pitching, and we'll head to the 8th. The Saints lead the Stompers 1-0. We head to the 8th inning. Patrick Richardson will get a second frame in what's still a 1-0 Saints lead. His first pitch is inside, 1-0 to Keon Musini. Musini had just 3 at-bats at the University of Central Arkansas, or 3 hits in 9 tries. 1-0. Lined hard but foul over the Flybird Margarita Lounge down the left field line. And the count's a ball and a strike. He'll be followed by Gannon Snyder and Joey Milto. Stompers pitching, to their credit, have held Arroyo Seco to just 1 run. The pitch outside, and it's 2-1. Pulowski couldn't squeeze it on a backhand effort. Richardson working right on left. Snyder will be a righty in the on-deck circle. 2-1 offer. Check swing, appeal, no swing, and the count's 3-1. Richardson has to battle from behind. His 3-1 home misses low, and it's ball 4, and Zach Pace, I think, now has seen enough. It'll be his second time consulting with Richardson, and we'll see if this time he decides to make the call. He came out to talk to him with 2 on and 2 out last inning, and this time he takes the ball. A break in the action, pitching change. The Stompers go back to the bullpen. They call upon Brandon Leone in a 1-run game in the 8th. Runner at first, nobody out, top of the 8th. Arroyo Seco Saints 1, Sonoma Stompers nothing on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. Brandon Leone comes on to replace Patrick Richardson, who pitched a shutout 7th inning, but that runner on first base, Keon Musini, belongs to him. He gives way to Brandon Leone from Turlock, California, the 5'10", 185-pound junior. Pitches at Modesto Junior College. This is his 3rd appearance. This is his 2nd time out of the bullpen. He has 1 start as well. That's 4 earned runs over 3 innings pitched, 3 strikeouts and 4 walks. There was a disastrous first inning against the Alameda Merchants where he walked 3 and hit a batter. 3 runners came around to score. He works here out of the bullpen and coming into a situation with a runner on base. He comes home, it's in the zone, and fouled off over the empty Stompers bullpen and into the parking lot. You look up, you see the beautiful hills rolling out past Arnold Field here in Sonoma. Lights have taken no effect here, 8:22 p.m. on the Pacific Coast. Runner at first, that's Moseni. Dances off the bag. Leon comes home, and a high fastball, 88 miles an hour, swung on and missed by Gannon Snyder. Wichita State Shocker has singled, been hit by a pitch, and struck out. Leon way out in front, 0-2. Comes on, it's popped up behind second. Libby backpedaling, still backpedaling, makes the catch. Never got to his spot on that pop-up that was sort of just drifting around, and didn't matter as the out was recorded. P4, and that brings up Joey Milto, who's grounded out and struck out twice.
And not a great day for Milto so far, but a nice play there from Libby. You don't really want to drift back on a pop-up, but was able to find a spot and make the grab. You don't need an error to snowball late down a run.
Leon pitches and blows it by Joey Milto. It's 0-1. As we've mentioned, it's the only matchup between the Stomps and the Saints. A season series on the line, but a season series that doesn't count for much as they play CCL North versus CCL South. The pitch is served into left field. That's a base hit. That's a nice piece of hitting from Joey Milto, who was 0 for 3 coming into that at bat. Took what Leon gave him. That pitch is off the corner. The lefty waited back and served it the other way. First and second, one out. That runner on second base belongs to Patrick Richardson.
And like you said, a great piece of hitting there. Just was complacent at the plate, sat back, took it the other direction, found a gap, and finds himself aboard.
Something Zach Pace would like to see from his hitters. Only 6 outs left. They have scratched across just a 1 in the hits column so far. First and second, Leon from the slide step delivers, and it's fouled off the foot of Mainrod, who's been beat up behind the plate and fouls one off his foot. Matt's flown out, struck out, and bounced into a fielder's choice. Stomper crowd wants a double play. I bet Leon on the mound wants the same thing. Delivers, fouled at home plate again, 0-2. It's that fastball, and he's keeping it in and up a majority of the time, and the one time he missed off the corner, and just a better piece of hitting by Joey Milto, who singled. He's at first. Keon Moseni's at second. Leon righty on righty against the backstop Matt Mainrod. The offer fouled into the glove of Pulowski. The first strikeout from Leon. And back to the top in Lane Hayworth, who's reached the last 2 trips, but hitless on the day, gets his 5th chance.
And that's a big strikeout there for Leon. 2 outs for the top of the order. Makes this much more manageable. Obviously still a run in scoring position, but a little bit more leverage defensively.
Boardman still hanging around Moseni at second, but Leon working quickly puts it in for a called strike 1 at the knees of Lane Hayworth, says Ron Mattery behind the plate. Hasn't been a banner day for the Stompers. Brady Shannon ejected arguing balls and strikes in the 5th inning, and the offense has mustered up just 1 hit. But pitching, on the other hand, very good. That one's lined into shallow left. Ben Sebastiani's going to come in and pick it up. The send to the plate. Here comes the throw. Pulowski has him out by legitimately maybe 10 feet. My goodness, that wasn't even close. A missile by Ben Sebastiani ends the inning, but Sonoma needs to get the offense going. We head to the last of the 8th inning. It's 1-0 Saints. Connor Pulowski leads off against a new arm, and the first pitch from Mason McDonald is skipping to the screen. A right-hander out of San Juan Capistrano, California. 6 foot, 185 pounds. Delivers to Pulaski, who sends it to right center field. Snyder goes over and makes the catch. That's honestly probably the hardest hit ball today by Sonoma. It ends F9. McDonald making his 4th appearance. He's given up 4 earned runs in 5 1/3 innings. That was a blow-up inning against the Riptide on June 14th, so that's 6 days ago. He gave up 4 earned without allowing a hit. So that's on 3 walks. He faced 8 hitters. So Sonoma, you got to be patient against this guy and just try and manufacture a run somehow, some way. 1-0. Low 2-0.
And how we've seen the Stompers be super successful and at least, compile on top of hits and wait for extra base hits is via the free pass. And they have just one tonight. That was a 2-out walk to McCain Libby last inning. They haven't been able to play any sort of small ball.
2-0. Outside 3-0. That one missed at 87 miles an hour, so the velocity's still there. Everyone sitting high 80s, touching 90. The Stompers don't care if they can get some runs, and Paul Lazul works a 4-pitch walk. Good at-bat for Lazul, and all of a sudden, Roman, the go-ahead runs at the plate in the bottom of the 8th inning. You sort of chalk this one up in your head because of how bad the offense has been, but the Sonoma pitching has kept this a 1-run game, and the pinch runner Trent Keys represents the tying run.
And Keys comes in, a big moment here. You got 1 out gone, but you need to find a gap with the baseball and start a little bit of a rally here. At least tie this ball game, not leave it up through the 9th.
Brings up Anthony Shepler, left-handed hitter against the righty McDonald. The pitch. Shepler takes high, 1-0. That is the first hit allowed, or that's the, beg your pardon, still no hits allowed by Mason McDonald. Keys the runner at first. That one outside, 6 consecutive out of the zone, and this is the scouting report on him. Really struggles with the command. Shepler has been ahead 3-1 in his first 2 at-bats. He's ahead 2-0 here. Takes outside 3-0. Big moment all of a sudden here at Arnold Field. Keys, pinch ran for Lazul. He's at first. The reliever McDonald's missed with 7 consecutive pitches. Make it 8. Back-to-back walks. And the tying runs in scoring position with 1 out for Kieran Baker and then Colton Boardman.
And the Stompers have seen 8 consecutive balls. Kieran Baker known for swinging first pitch, but would not be the most advised swing of his career if he did so here.
Yeah, Kieran Baker swung first pitch the first 2 at-bats today, and there'll be a meeting at the mound. And this is a well-timed meeting. There's been now 8 consecutive pitches missed. He struggled with his command. He walked 3 his last outing a week ago. McDonald, Cal State San Marcos product. Kieran Baker attacking from the right. He struck out against the starter Ballantyne. He also struck out against Christian Robb, who went 2 shutout innings, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Looking down to the bullpen, but no move made. You wonder if this is maybe your last hitter. Right on right against Kieran Baker, the lefty. And the Stompers' best hitter with Max Handren out of the lineup is on deck. In on the grass at third is Enright. Baker awaits the first pitch from McConnell, and it misses high. Mason McDonald's missed with 9 consecutive pitches. And Enright's backed up with Baker not showing bunt there. He comes back in. Kieran Baker could not put down a bunt the last time he was asked and slow. He takes a called strike one, and that's one you're taking all the way, as the string of 9 consecutive misses is broken with strike one to Kieran Baker. Keys at second, Shepler at first. That's the tying and go-ahead runs. Baker takes a called strike, outer corner. That's been given all night. Baker 0 for 2 today. This would be a nice time to break out of some early season struggles. 2-2 is sent towards right field. Chasing back is Snyder, and he makes the catch backing up, which allows Trent Keys to get to third base. And now that sets up a pass ball tying this game. So Baker from 2 strikes does a nice job to move the runner at least. And now this is the guy you want up in this spot, Colton Boardman. Runners at the corners with 2 away. Boardman against McDonald.
And 90 feet, second to third, might not seem like a lot, but here at Arnold, a pass ball scores a run pretty much every single time. That's a big 90 for the Stompers.
Boardman takes way high, 1 ball and no strikes. Nick Sebastiani aboard 2 out of 3, waits on deck. Stompers delivering drama for the Arnold Field crowd like it feels like every home game. The pitch outside, and it's 2-0 on Boardman, and you got the hometown hero, Nick Sebastiani, on deck. 2-0. Hitters count. Colton Boardman takes a called strike. 88 miles an hour at the knees. Two on, 2 out. 2-1 pitch. Boardman lines it in to the left side of the infield and into the glove of the shortstop, Jax Ryan. So the Stomper crowd thought for a second, as did I, that it would drop. It does not. The Stompers threaten with 2 walks, but do not score. Brandon Leone back to the hill, trying to throw up yet another 0 and give his offense a shot. We head to the 9th, a 1-run ball game here in Sonoma. Enright, Little, and Medella will be the 3 to hit against Brandon Leone, who got the last 3 outs of the 8th inning, allowed 2 singles, but Nick Sebastiani made a very nice play to gun down what would have been the 2nd run at home plate. The pitch is over the inside for a called strike 1.
And for Leone here, the job is very simple. Just go in, throw strikes, get these 3 outs, and hope the bats can pick up sort of where they left off in the 8th. You threatened, but still didn't score.
0-1 skips in, 1-1. The CS LB, third baseman, has singled and walked with a ground out and a strikeout sprinkled in. 1-1. Outside and low, 2-1. For the Stompers in the ninth, it's who you want up, 2, 3, and 4, Sebastiani, Akers, and Libby. But Leone has to get us there in just a one-run ball game. His 2-1, beg your pardon, is lined towards center. Will it hang up for Akers? It will. 93 miles per hour off the bat, but it ends up in the glove of Landon Akers in center field. That brings up Jack Little. Single and a hit by pitch on a 1-for-3 evening.
Number 11, Jack Little.
Leone, you just want to get your bats back up there. And for Sonoma, I mean, you had no semblance of a rally in the first 7 innings, but you set up first and third, 2 outs for your guy, Colton Boardman. This is one where there's a lot of things to look at wrong, but it's not for a lack of, it's for a lack of opportunities. It's not for a lack of opportunity. They had one with their guy at the plate.
Yeah, usually the number to look at is the left on base, but just 4 for the Stompers tonight.
0-1 in there, 0-2. Left on base has been an issue in both wins and losses this season. But you can't leave him on if you don't get him on, and that was the issue today. 0-2. Grounded weakly to the left side. Boardman, gloves, throws in time to Trent Keys with a nice stretch. 2 away.
Now batting, left fielder, number 7, Levi Medella.
That brings up Levi Medella. Reached base his last 2 trips. 1-for-3. Leone looking to do his job out of the bullpen and give his offense a shot. First pitch. Oh, slider with a whole bunch of movement. Came in on the hands of the lefty, Medilla. My goodness. Let's see, horizontal break on that thing. Looked like it's going to start outside and ended inside. Goes fastball, same spot. Grounded foul, a ball and a strike.
A very nice pitch there from Leone. It's just a shame this isn't a save opportunity, just a hold down a run.
Have to minimize the damage. 1-1. Outside corner called strike 1 and 2. One ball, 2 strikes. Leone delivers. That's lined back up the middle for a base hit. So the top of the 9th will continue. The Saints in need of an insurance run, and it will be Jax Ryan's chance to do it. 1-for-4 for the Arizona State Sun Devil. He scored the only run of the ball game, and that was on an errant throw by Connor Pulowski. He reached on a fielder's choice. Then a Cole Pacheco back pick went awry. He went to third base and then scored on another errant throw. He sends this one high in the air down the right field line. Kieran Baker gives it a look, but well out of play. Stomps playing yet another tight ball game. They're on the wrong side of the scoreline thus far. Leone comes home in there for a called strike 2. And we saw Richardson struggle to get ahead of hitters. Leone the opposite. He's out ahead of just about everyone.
That's a great pitch there. 0-1. Not typically where a batter would be sitting on a slider, and especially a really hard one to pick up and hit from Leone. That's a great pitch to get ahead 0-2.
Leone comes home and struck him out swinging high fastball. Leone's done his job, but now it's the offense's turn. Sebastiani, Akers, and Libby, they represent the last chance for the Stompers. It's a nail-biter. 1-0 Saints come back for the last of the 9th. You're watching the Sonoma Stompers Baseball on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. Ninth inning, the Stompers go to work against a new pitcher, the fifth of the ball game, Andrew Citrone. Los Angeles, California born. He's 5'10", 200 pounds. This is his third appearance. He's given up 2 earned runs over 1 2/3 innings. He delivers to Akers, a called strike 1. A Georgetown Hoya. He gave up 21 earned runs in 10 1/3 innings. This could be the shot that Sonoma needs. The 0-1. Sebastian, he sends it towards right, but Snyder comes on and makes the catch chest high, 1 away. That closes the book on Mason McDonald. What do you have, Roman?
Yeah, he went an inning, didn't give up a hit, a run, or strike out a batter, but he walked 2, but was able to work out of the jam.
Akers, righty on righty against Citrone. Put the ball over the wall in yesterday's game. He represents the tying run in the 9th. He's behind 0-1. Slider, 70 miles an hour. Oh, 1. Cold strike, bottom of the zone, 0-2. Tough go for Sonoma, just 1 hit through 8 1/3 innings. But all of that is forgotten if the Stompers can rally here in the 9th. Akers will have to try and get a board from down 0-2. He grounds this one towards second, ranging over his Mussini. He bobbles it, knocks it down, and won't make the play. Landon Akers reaches on an error and represents the tying run.
And you'll take anything you can get here if you're the Stompers. You have to claw your way back into it with just 2 outs to your name. Reaching on an error there with one of your fastest runners. Not a bad way to start.
Wibby's worked one of the 3 walks that Sonoma has tonight. Also has a home run on the season. Checks his swing, doesn't matter. It's a called strike at home plate, 0-1. Citrone's been out ahead 0-1 on every Stomper hitter. 0-1. Wibby takes called strike 2. Stompers need a knock. It's as simple as that. Esteban Sepulveda has come out on deck. Akers runs. Libby swings and misses. A throw down to second. The tag. He's out. And the ball game is over. Matt Bolus, in the strangest fashion, has just ended the ball game at second base. Wow. You can't. He barely made a call. There was absolutely no conviction from Matt Bolus, and my goodness, what a way to end the ball game. I don't think I've seen that before. He waited 30 seconds, just sort of looked at the play and called him out. And Zach Pace, as he should, is going to go talk to the umpiring crew or just shake hands with the coaching staff. An odd one goes the way of the Arroyo Seco Saints, and I don't have much to say in today's post-game wrap, Roman.
That last play, it looked like he was checking to see if the ball was dropped on the tag or anything like that, but then just kind of waited around, couldn't really see what happened, and then decided to call him out. Not a lot of conviction in the call, not a lot of reasoning, really, just a weird one to end a weird game, and that's no excuse for the Stompers. They did not have a hit after the second batter of the bottom of the first inning. That's not winning baseball. I don't care the small ball, the free passes, none of that matters if you cannot get more than 1 hit through the last 26 outs of the ballgame.
Yeah, the only people the Stompers have to blame are themselves. They're 1 hit by the Arroyo Seco Saints, who take the bus and get the job done. The Stompers drop to 9-7. The Saints improve to 6-4, and that It was a game full of oddities. Brady Shannon ejected in the 5th inning for arguing balls and strikes. Matt Bolus with the least conviction I've seen from an umpire on this field in quite a while. But the Stompers beat themselves. You can't get one hit no matter the situation. Stomps fall to the Saints by the final score of 1-0. 1-9-2 beats 0-1-3. I mean, you have one hit and 3 errors, you're not going to win the baseball game. Those stats speak for themselves. Nick Sebastiani, the only man with a hit. Hats off to Stomper pitching. David Howard, 5 shutout innings. Cole Pacheco gives up a run on what turned into just 2 errors. Patrick Richardson and Brandon Leone shut the door out of the bullpen. Your losing pitcher is Cole Pacheco. Your winning pitcher is, I think, John Iacona. We'll see when that run came in to score. It was in the 6th, so it is John Iacona was the pitcher on record at the time. Not much to say, Roman. You have to get more than one hit to win a baseball game.
When we talked about it in the pregame show, no Max Handren in the lineup. He's been one of the hottest hitters for the Stompers, and we talked about the confidence and how this team needs to approach it, knowing that they might have just lost one of their best players for the foreseeable future. They did not handle that well, if that was the response tonight, which I don't know what tonight was, but that seems like a valid, option for it. You lose the guy who's been sparking the offense, leading the team, and you just panic, don't know what to do. It results in a one-hit performance.
Well, that's all the time we have today on the Stompers post-game wrap. Thanks for spending your Friday night hanging out with us on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. We're back on the air tomorrow, 5:50. The pregame show setting you up for the Stompers and the Legends. That's a 6:05 first pitch from Arnold Field. One more time, 1-9-1 for the Saints, beats 0-1-3 for Sonoma. John Iacona, the winning pitcher. The losing pitcher is Cole Pacheco, who gives up 1 run out of a bullpen, and Andrew Citrone picks up his first save of the season. For everybody that helps make this broadcast run and my broadcast partner, Roman Raffelli. Stompers lose 1-0. Back to work tomorrow against Menlo Park. I'm Kieran Costa saying enjoy your Friday night, and so long from here in the Sonoma Index Tribune press box in Sonoma.